Welcome to another edition of the Sports One. And we are back. We got the full crew in the house. That is what it's all about. The Yankees, out of any team in the league, are the best equipped to handle a blow like this.
I think there is a higher power at play here. He's due law of averages. That dude is the ultimate scrub. It's trash. Yeah. Every person you have in there is fucking trash.
Next game, you're going to see a big performance. You can see it in the end of the game, and I'm just totally stoked and excited for this.
We are back. Welcome to another edition of the Sports Port. And once again, it's the Barnes and Tony Show. Anthony, how are you?
Yo, dude, feeling good. It's Tuesday. Not so much of a rainy day anymore today, but I mean, it is hot as hell out there. But yeah, dude, I'm feeling good. How you doing?
Yeah, feeling pretty good. And definitely pumped, like we were talking about before the show. First Downtime TV golf outing of the season tomorrow.
Oh, of the season, yeah.
Of the season. Jumping the gun there, Tony.
Right,
jumping the gun.
Of the season.
So really looking forward to getting out there. And I'm sure all of our fans can't wait to see some of the footage that we're about to unleash from that event.
It's going to be hilarious.
It's just going to be the best. But, when is it not, Tony? That's the question, right? Enjoy the Derby last night.
Did I personally?
Yeah.
No, not really.
Oh, okay. Do you think we should just talk about it?
Yeah. We can. Wait, what?
So we should go to the world of
yeah.
Major League
Baseball?
Baseball?
Go to the world of Major League Baseball.
2-2, he got him swinging. The back-to-back strikeouts for Robbie Ray.
There's damage right there. Shohei, way, Cy-Yo, nada, where did that land?
Smoke to Chapman, who leaps up and grabs it.
Story spins and fires. Out at first.
There it goes. See ya. Home run, Aaron Judge.
All right. So we did have the Home Run Derby from Dodger Stadium last night, and we'll show you how we got there. But in the end, Juan Soto wins the final match over hotshot rookie Julio Rodriguez from the Seattle Mariners, 19-18 in the final round. Definitely a derby that didn't go, exactly as scripted. And
Right.
One thing I kind of briefly mentioned to you this before the show, what was up with, reducing the timed rounds in the beginning from 4 to 3, and then the finals only 2 rounds? Like, I didn't hear any mention of that from the broadcast team or from Major League Baseball before the event started.
No, honestly, me neither. It definitely caught me by surprise a little bit. They didn't talk about the format, I thought, at all. Like, in terms of, what was changed or whatever. It wasn't like, like last year was this, like this year it's going to be like that. Like, they decided to do this. Like, no, there was really no background at all. And I guess it was a little bit of a surprise to me. And obviously you, Brian.
And I just feel like, too, and correct me if I'm wrong, but, and I'm not saying, he was like legendary or anything. Because, I mean, certain things, yeah, sure, maybe. But just overall, I could see why fans would get tired of him. But versus a combination of Eduardo Perez and Carl Ravitch. I mean, give me Chris Berman on the Derby any day. Am I wrong or no?
No, you're not wrong. Totally right.
But I don't know if you remember, like when he had his last Derby, I want to say at this
Berman.
point, probably 5 years ago. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, on Twitter, absolutely roasted. Everyone talking about like, oh, back. That was funny in 1995 and like all that stuff. But I just feel like it's like these guys just bring no excitement. They can't even see the ball. I don't know if you noticed, but there was like probably almost 10 different times where they called it wrong or they had to change the score after. I mean, pretty bad job on the announcing team's part.
Yeah, I would say pretty horrible job. To allude to more what you were saying about the excitement, they brought none of it. Like none of it. Pre-game, during the Derby, post, like there was no real excitement at all that was generated by the broadcasting team. And it was kind of a shame because, I mean, it's the Home Run Derby. It's supposed to be hype for it. They were not bringing that at all.
No, absolutely not. So, and I mean, is there anybody, I don't know if it's just a product of them having like a weak kind of baseball department over at ESPN, but is there anybody currently employed that you think would do a better job than
who
they
ESPN?
put up there? Yeah.
Oh gosh. I don't know. No, not anyone on ESPN, dude. Who?
Yeah, I mean, Coney's not a Derby guy.
No.
Yeah, I mean, they could have had the K-Rod team.
Yeah, sick, dude. I can bring over some bodies from the MLB Network.
Yeah, Yeah, I mean that would probably be better,
Yeah.
but it's just like I don't quite get it. With Major League Baseball, just the fact that I mean they have this Sunday night package. I'm sure it's not cheap. But why, especially now, we're the point we are in the year where baseball dominates everything because I mean, what's of consequence other than golf and tennis right now?
Right.
And it's just like, why do they not put their best foot forward? Like, wouldn't they be better off dropping the package altogether? I mean, it seems like they almost see it as how they used to see, the National Hockey League before they brought it back last year.
Yeah, I think you're totally right. They definitely overlook it. And it's like, I mean, it's ESPN, dude. They can get someone. They can get a former player. Like, why not get a former player in to do the Derby? Like they just did that shit with Jeter. I can't really see Jeter maybe doing it, but I mean, come on, dude. They got pull with players and stuff like that. Like, get some former players in there.
Yeah. It just I think they do a very poor job, in that regard. And but maybe also it's it's baseball as a whole, like because really, I mean, who stands out? I mean, do you think, like, just thinking generally speaking, the guys who call some big games for the national broadcast, I mean, do you think like Smoltz does a good job?
Yeah, I like John Smoltz.
What about Joe Davis? Something to be
sort of
desired.
different. Yeah, I don't know.
So you think Buck did a lot better job?
Yeah.
And I like Matt Viscursion.
Matt Viscursion is good. Yeah. Who's the I forget the dude's name, or maybe he was just doing MLB Network stuff, but was
Kevin Burkhardt?
Yeah, Kevin Burkhardt. Yeah.
You
yeah,
like
yeah.
how I knew that?
Yeah, dude. He's good. I like him.
Yeah, and it's interesting that, I mean, I could be wrong about this too, but I believe, isn't he the Fox like pre and post host?
Yeah.
So I just feel like he would, because I really enjoy listening to him when he calls NFL. I just feel like he'd be better served calling the games versus being the studio host.
Yeah, I could see that too. I mean, he's good in the studio though. That's probably why they want to keep him.
Yeah,
there.
no, he is good in the studio. But like, just kind of what we were saying with Joe Davis. And then I'm trying to think about the TNT team other than Ronnie. Who else is on that broadcast?
Oh
team?
gosh.
Or the TBS. It's TBS.
TBS, yeah.
Slips your mind,
dude. Yeah, I have no idea.
Gotta look this up.
Yeah.
TBS baseball broadcasters. Bob Costas, Ernie Johnson, Matt Weiner, Lauren Shahadi, Casey Stern.
Oh my God. Yeah, of course.
Brian Anderson.
Brian
Anderson. Okay.
Bob Costas is all right.
So you're okay with Costas?
Yeah, he's all right. I mean, he knows so much about baseball, obviously. I mean, and I would argue, from what I've seen, I mean, it seems to be one of his more passionate sports. Just that he kind of covers. Lauren Shahadi is great too. I worked at MLB Network when she's still there, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, dude, she's chill too. I mean, she's always on the field, doing the interviews and stuff. She's cool. So they got a pretty good team, I guess, right?
Yeah. And then I know, like, MLB Network, because I know Costas is there too. As your mother says, good morning.
Aren't you glad I've been home to see your show?
Oh, we are unequivocally astute, Tony, right?
Astute?
I said the wrong word.
Unequivocally astute.
No, what? I don't know.
Ecstatic?
I guess ecstatic was a word. Ecstatic was a word. But I know, like, yeah, on the MLB broadcast, like, other than Costas too, like, they definitely have done Jim Cott, but he's kind of getting older.
They've thrown Al Leiter around sometimes too.
Yeah, Al Leiter, and I guess because he was full-time at the Yankees, but then a few years dropped just to MLB Network because of he wants to follow his son's career.
Right.
Good for him. What do you think about Leiter? I mean, I know he was a longtime Met, obviously.
Right.
I mean, any thoughts there as far as his like broadcasting work?
I like him a lot. It's actually funny. I've actually worked with him on a few breakdowns and stuff like that. And he's a pretty easy guy to talk to. I feel like in terms of breaking down, obviously, pitching is his strong suit, and that's what he breaks down the most. I like him a lot. I think he's great, very insightful. Yeah. Not too much ego going on in the studio with him. It's nice.
Could you see Mark DeRosa being a color commentator?
Absolutely, dude. Mark DeRosa, he was on MLB Central with Shahadi and I forget the other guy's name right now. Ro, I think they called him. I forget his actual name, but talk about someone who's very like he gets you excited, he gets you pumped up, he gets you interested. He breaks everything that his at bat breakdowns are so good, dude. Like they'll put him in front of the screen. He'll literally go pitch by pitch, talk about what the batter's doing, what the pitcher's thinking. I mean, his breakdowns are phenomenal, and he's a very obviously, he's a youngish guy, I would say, compared to the other people. And he's very exciting. He's very easy to listen to. He gets you, he grabs your attention and keeps it. I really like Mark DeRosa.
Yeah. So see that there are some guys. What about Harold Reynolds?
Reynolds, I like. He's another guy who's like, I would say he's just like very chill. He's very like, he does obviously all the MLB Tonight. And he's just always very just like calm, like relaxed. And it's just, again, he makes you feel, again, he keeps your attention, And again, I mean, it's someone who's very smart, who obviously knows the games. He played with the Cubs.
I know he played with the Mariners. I remember him on the Mariners. I just don't know.
Yeah. I don't
your
know.
mother says Astute is good too?
Astute is good too.
Because
I don't think so. Astute.
Because I'm thinking like astute observation. Would be
like a
very
keen
good
observation. Very good.
or
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
Right. I mean, I can look it up. I don't think there's another meaning. Astute showing the ability to accurately assess situations or people. Yeah. Astute observation. I don't know, Mom.
It was a stretch. We'll just leave it at that. It was definitely a stretch.
But yeah, Harold Reynolds, great guy, really funny. I used to see him in the cafeteria a lot.
And it was funny because I was watching, the like pregame on MLB Network last night. And they had like Mike Trout come on, and they were talking about, I guess he committed. I think it's next year is the World Baseball Classic, and he committed to playing in that as well as being the team captain. And I guess, Reynolds was the only one on the panel that didn't know that was, happening. So he was like, "Oh, I had no idea." Like, and it was like very like organic. Like,
that's great.
I mean? He was happy for him.
Yeah. Also, someone who would probably be, I think, great for doing the Derby from the network, Bill Ripken.
Billy.
Oh my God. I mean, talk about a ball of energy. And he'll certainly make you laugh too. I feel like for the Derby, especially, I think he'll have some hilarious things he'll say. And again, just in terms of the excitement, I mean, Bill brings it. Bill
Ripken, Kevin Burkhardt, Derby announcers for next year.
Let's do it.
I mean, home run.
Write the contract up right now. Write it
up. And then how about this? Just to throw in a little wrench in this. Alternate broadcast, Al Michaels and Bob Costas.
I would enjoy that too.
That would be something.
Oh my God. I don't know how Bob would feel being the alternate broadcast.
And actually, though, too, I wouldn't be surprised if definitely by next baseball season, Joe Buck is involved in some capacity now that he works for ESPN.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I mean, I'm sure he likes making, obviously, good money and then not having as heavy as a work schedule, but he's got to be losing his mind at the same time, because I feel like he's a guy that's used to be very busy. At one point, he was calling golf as well, so I wouldn't be surprised if they put him in ESPN's golf coverage.
Oh, yeah.
So a lot of different ways, this could go, for sure. But just in terms of, the on the field performance at the Derby last night, I believe the first matchup was Corey Seager and Julio Rodriguez, with Rodriguez going first. And what a show. He put on 32 home runs. That included a minute of bonus time. But like we said, down to 3 minutes overall on these rounds. So that's a very impressive score. That was the high mark of the night. And you felt bad for Corey Seager because with the old format, he would have been the second seed in the second round. But now that they do this heads up situation, he was eliminated. Do you agree with the heads up format? Yeah,
I like the heads up format.
Just kind of keep it up close, personal.
Yeah.
And then after that, we had I think it was Alonso was next with Acuna, or was it Soto Ramirez?
No, I thought it was. Soto Ramirez.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay. So then, we had Jose hit 17, Soto hits 18. So enough to get into the second round, but it wasn't anything that really stood out to that one. I don't know. You know what I mean? It's
Ramirez went first, right?
Right. Ramirez went first. And
Soto just hit 18.
But Soto, I mean, I think it's probably a product too of just how good of a hitter he is. And he's not just a home run or nothing, but he was having trouble like lifting the ball. He was hitting like a lot of line drives, and then he would get in his groove and like rattle off like a bunch of home runs. So that's kind of what happened against Ramirez. Then we had Pete Alonso versus Acuna. Pete gets the 20 home runs after Acuna has 19. So keeping that dream of the three-peat alive at the moment. And then really the surprise of the night, I believe for the first round, because this one went to a swing off, but Albert Pujols only had 13 home runs with bonus time. So everyone's like, okay, Schwarber, not going to need bonus time. Might have a minute left in regulation. Schwarber barely ties him at 13, like down to the last second.
After the bonus time, too.
After the bonus time. And then Albert Pujols hit 7 in a minute to advance to the second round, upping Schwarber by 1. Kind of seemed rigged. Any chance that he kind of let him have it or not really?
I don't know. It's tough to see because Schwarber, like, I mean, you could see like the way he also had trouble lifting the ball as well. And, you know, the park is kind of tough. So I don't know, maybe Pujols kind of actually did maybe surprise him. Cause I mean, Pujols hitting 20. I would not have guessed he would have gotten a 20.
No.
And then Schwarber, I think, just ate it, dude. I don't think he did it on purpose. I think he just sucked.
Now, I mean, what did you think too, just generally speaking, you know, in terms of like him being in the Derby? I mean, do you think like we'll see something like this again?
Pujols being in the Derby?
like just like where they want to, you know, kind of honor a older guy that really doesn't deserve to be in the Derby. I mean, do you think this will happen again, you know, down the line when someone's kind of wrapping up their career?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, depending on the person, yeah, I could see them certainly giving him, you know, some old guy another shot at the Derby. And obviously, you know, with Pujols, I mean, he made it the second round, so it's more than people thought.
Yeah, so it added a little buzz, a little juice to the Derby. So then it was on to the second round, and we had quite the matchup between Julio Rodriguez and Pete Alonso. But at the end of the day, Julio Rodriguez with another impressive performance, 31 dingers in the second. So between the first two rounds, 63 home runs. You know, that obviously pops off the page. Unfortunately, this is where the three-peat ended for Alonso. Just didn't get into a groove, you know, visibly frustrated. And you could just tell, like, you know, he's like deadlifting before the Derby and he's like, just like doing like the heavy breathing and like this type of head movement while he's waiting in the cage. So he was really trying for this, but just not enough. And, you know, I think part of it too, and I don't know if you noticed this, like at the end of the day, obviously it's on him for not hitting the amount of home runs he needed, but do you feel like his pitcher kind of let him down?
Sucked. The pitcher sucked, dude. I feel like then they were talking about it that whoever the guy was, I forget who it was, but he doesn't throw batting practice to him.
Oh, okay.
So
there you go right there.
Yeah, it's like, why would you even pick him to throw to you? And then the guy, first of all, the guy took probably 2 seconds to throw the ball because I don't know if you noticed this, Brian, but he would like kind of like go like this and then take the one step and then throw on every pitch.
Right.
And that eats up so much time.
Right.
And then on top of that, he was throwing them like pretty high. And a lot of them were inside as well. So you're not getting the barrel of the bat on that. And then, like, you know, you saw the few where he you know, he threw him a little bit lower in the strike zone and Alonso would rip it, dude. Like bomb, like you bomb a few and then it would go back again to like high or inside. It's like, dude, like he kind of screwed him up a little bit. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So obviously, you know, that was disappointing to see. But on to the finals went Julio Rodriguez, and then we had the other semifinal matchup between Pujols and Soto. Pujols leads off and slightly better than the first round, gets 15 home runs. And it looked like for a while, you know, he was going to advance to the finals because Soto had a terrible start. I believe he had 1 home run through like a minute or minute and a half, whatever it was, but rallied in the last minute and extra time to edge Pujols 16-15, setting up a battle of the youngsters, Soto versus Rodriguez. And at the end of the day, you know, Rodriguez in the 3-minute format, or actually, no, this 2-minute format plus the bonus time gets 18 home runs, but Soto walks it off, hitting 19 and becoming the 2022 Home Run Derby champion. And I mentioned to you this before the show, kind of was weird. Like it's, you know, him winning the Derby, but didn't really seem like he put on a show. It seemed like he kind of labored through it and got it by the skin of his teeth. I mean, I don't know if kind of that's what you thought, but
yeah, I mean, when you think about it, like, you know, he Rodriguez was obviously pretty tired, I think, by the end of it. You know, after a couple of first few hard rounds. And then the first guy he played against, right, Martinez.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like the both of them like didn't really hit very well and they went first against him. So all he did was just beat their score sort of deal. So I mean, I would say like, and he, it was all right, I guess, of a performance. I mean, he won, right? The guy won. But I mean, he didn't like, it wasn't like he went on like a tear, like, he went like 8 for 8 with home runs or whatever, or something like that. Like, it really wasn't that exciting, I guess, watching him. But I mean, it's whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I think honestly, when I think back to the last 3 derbies, I think the best one was 2019 with Vlad Guerrero Jr., Pete Alonso, and Acuna having good derbies. That one really stood out. And I think too, and I was mentioning to you this before the show, I think that stadium is too big.
Yeah, it is too big.
I mean, to get it out to center field, I don't have the dimensions in front of me, but I mean, it's an absolute shot. And it seemed like a lot of balls were dying at the track, even in left and right center field as well.
I think it was something like 430 or 420 center field.
That's a shot.
Yeah.
And I just can't wait to see the home run derby at Yankee Stadium. I feel like, because that's 13 years in. I mean, way overdue for a derby. But all I know for future sites, and I don't know if you know anything past this yourself, but just that next year it does return to Seattle, which I think it was like the early 2000s they had one there, maybe 04. I remember Giambi being in the derby. I think it was 04 because I think Milwaukee was 03. So that'll be kind of interesting. That's another one that's a bigger park. So it's just, I don't know. I mean, do you think though that it's just really going forward because obviously, they're concerned about the actual game itself and the events surrounding the stadium and whatnot, that where the size of the field in respective to the derby, that doesn't really come into consideration too much?
No, definitely not. I would think, like you said, they do care about the venue in terms of seating people, and then of course, I feel like the city around the stadium too. Obviously LA, big city. But yeah, dude. And also I feel like, I don't know if maybe you felt this too, but I feel like it went on too long last night.
It did.
Like it really dragged. And it's like, I don't know what it was slotted for, what, 8 to 10, 8 to 9.
No, not 8 to 9, but I would think 8 to 10.
10, right?
Probably 8 to 10. Yeah.
It went well past 10 o'clock, didn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know the exact time, but I know.
Like, geez, dude. I mean, it was too much for a derby. It should be way quicker.
And I'm just looking in here. So we really only have for the next 4 years 2 sites that are locked in. So like I mentioned, T-Mobile Park next year in Seattle, and then 2026 Citizens Bank Park, Philly. So what I think makes sense is let's go 2024 Yankee Stadium, 2025 Truist Field. No?
You say Citi Field?
No, I mean Citi Field. What was that? 2013, I believe.
Yeah.
Boy. Oh yeah, because Matt Harvey started it, or no? Wow, that seems like a lifetime ago.
I know, right?
So that's what we got, but we'll see. Where they go. As far as those sites are concerned. And then of course, tonight we do have the All-Star game. So I just wanted to have this up before. Then of course, let me just 1 second here. All-Star. Okay. No, that's not it. Bear with me if you would, Tony.
Oh yeah, I'm here. I'm not going anywhere.
Well, I know anyway. Our pitching matchup, Shane McClanahan for the American League, Clayton Kershaw, for the National League. Any thoughts there, just in terms of like a lot of chatter about how really Kershaw wasn't the best pitcher in the National League to start the year. Were you surprised at that one at all, or
honestly that he was picked? Yeah, a little bit, dude. I really don't think. I mean, I think there's better pitchers on the Dodgers than him right now. So I mean, I guess he is an older guy. Maybe who knows how much? What was he? 34.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, and it's like but I feel like too, he going into this like off season, like he was very undervalued. Like, what did he go, 1-year contract with the Dodgers?
Yeah.
And I mean he's pitching well. I mean, let's not get it twisted. I mean, he's having a really good start to his season, but you had some other guys that were candidates. So this is what we have for in terms of lineups. So for the American League, we got Ohtani leading off at DH, Judge batting second in right field,
Oh,
Devers batting third at third base, Vladdy fourth playing first, Stanton in left batting fifth, Buxton in center batting sixth, Tim Anderson at short batting seventh, Andres Jimenez at second base batting eighth. I honestly didn't even know he was an all-star.
yeah. Honestly, neither did I. Jimenez from the White Sox.
No, the Guardians.
From the Guardians.
Former New York Met.
Oh,
Tony,
okay.
Tony.
Oh my God, from the Guardians, I feel like sneaky good.
Yeah. I mean, and they've had that ability since Francona took over, no matter what the team is in front of them, they're usually competitive.
Yeah.
And then Alejandro Kirk, a catcher batting ninth, but maybe a little bias here, but Glaber doesn't deserve to get the nod over Jimenez. He's had a pretty good year.
Glaber sucks, dude.
I mean, let's not get crazy over here.
And my mom says not to change subject, but do you think Syndergaard will return to the Mets?
Tony, where does this come from?
Obviously my mom's been, I don't know, watching.
No, I'm saying because we've talked about how he hates them and this and that. Like, she a big Syndergaard fan, or
she likes Syndergaard, Thor, the hair, that he obviously, he pitched well too. I don't think it's gonna happen. He does. There's too much bad blood right now.
Well, and also, I mean, I haven't like seen it anywhere. Have you?
Little talk, but I mean, not like from anything like reputable, really.
It's just, you're basically saying it's just speculation.
Yeah, just speculation.
And like I said, I mean, and his strikeout numbers are down, and also, like, how is his velocity so down after getting Tommy John? I've never seen that.
I don't know, dude. He has a bad attitude. He doesn't really pitch well anymore. I think he's just, I don't know. And LA, I don't think is a good spot for him. He's got to get out of there. Maybe a better pitching coach. He can maybe up his velocity, a tick or two. But I think he's washed, dude.
Yeah. I wouldn't feel, like I was saying yesterday, I wouldn't feel good, about giving up anything of consequence for him. And then so just to give everybody an idea too, so for the National League, we got Acuna leading off and right, Mookie batting second and center,
Nice.
Machado at third batting third, Goldschmidt cleanup at first, Trey Turner batting fifth at short, Wilson Contreras catcher, batting sixth, William Contreras DH, the brothers back to back, Jack Peterson in left, and then bringing up the rear, yours truly, Tony, Jeff McNeil.
Yeah.
So what do you think about, a comparison of the starting lineups here?
I would say maybe the AL has a little bit more power, with Vladdy, Ohtani, Judge, and then the NL, with McNeil, with Betts. I feel like they'll get on base a little bit more, sort of deal. So I would say, obviously all great hitters, but different styles, I would say,
And I'm just not seeing it. How is William Contreras an all-star?
I have no idea. I
guess like his splits are good because he's played in only 46 games, 174 at bats, he has 11 home runs, so he's slugging 532, but he's hitting 260, 877 OPS. And I'm confused too. Like, did he make it as a catcher and then they put him at DH? Or is the DH spot just work like it's like whoever is like the biggest leading vote getter that didn't get to start goes there? Like, I don't get how that works.
I don't know. Is it?
Because I feel like the DH is so rotational these days,
Right.
So, with that being said, Tony, we saw the lineups. We know it's Kershaw, McClanahan, and obviously, most likely, the starter at most goes 2 innings.
Yeah.
A lot of times 1. Do you have a pick for the winner of the 2022 All-Star game?
I mean, I do like Shane McClanahan. Yeah, I guess give me the AL.
AL, do we have a score, an MVP?
Oh gosh. Ohtani MVP score is, I don't know, 7-4.
7-4.
Yeah.
Ohtani MVP. All right. So for me here, I'm gonna say American League gets it. I'm gonna say Giancarlo Stanton MVP. Hits 2 home runs, so relishing that opportunity to be back in the All-Star game, and also they win in a home run derby. I don't know if you saw that.
Mhm.
That's the new tiebreaker. So the game will be tied 4-4 after 9, and then Stanton, as part of the derby, is going to beat Jock Peterson to win it for the American League. So he hits 2 home runs during the game and the derby. And I was watching the pregame last night, and he said he thinks that should be the format during the regular season.
That's funny.
You're really tight on Stan, huh?
I mean, dude, come on. Home run derby tiebreaker. Get out of town. It's worse than the ghost runner.
Wow. I don't know, dude. So let me just mark these picks down here. So you said National League, right?
No, I said AL.
Oh, you did? Okay,
Yeah.
so we're going but AL, but I'm going Stanton, you're going so you're going MVP in a losing effort, huh? Does that really happen that much?
Yeah.
Hey, can we pull up the numbers?
Yeah.
Let's see it. Search it right in front of me.
Oh gosh. Oh, yeah. Probably should specify what sport.
That would help.
All right, let's see here, dude. Oh, it doesn't give you who won in each thing. Oh. All-Star MVP award winner.
I don't know if that'll do it for us.
Well, I have to cross-reference here. 1933.
I mean, Tony, if we're going back to 1933.
No, let's start from. Oh, here we go. This is this year. Okay, I was gonna say, Coors Field. Oh, why? It's AL and then NL. Okay, so the AL won last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Vladdy won it. Last year canceled due to COVID. The AL won it the year before that. Bieber.
AL Bregman. Dude, the NL hasn't won since 2012.
I guess so. They tied in 15, 14 AL, 13
Yeah, no,
AL.
it's all on the winning team. But
Wow.
it was my mistake too. I'm just realizing this because you said AL, so that's I don't know why I said that.
Yeah, I don't know why you said that either.
I think I was just assuming.
You were like, oh, NL, Tony? I was like, no, AL. And you go, oh, wow, why would you pick the NL with the shape?
Oh, man, that's funny, though, honestly.
Oh, gosh.
I mean, you didn't think it was that funny?
No, it's hilarious, Brian. My mother says, but they are great players. I don't know who she's referring to. I read an article that he will be available again after LA. So after this year, is he available?
Yeah, I mean, it was a 1-year contract.
Yeah, but I don't think so. Maybe he'll go to I see maybe Cleveland picking him up.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
Or the Rays, they love their
true, the Rays. That would be crazy if he was, on the Rays, dude.
And then how did you think of how Soto handled like the questions about the trades and kind of blaming the team? And I mean, what did you think of all that?
I don't know. I mean, how could you blame the team? I feel like the Nationals were, up for offering him whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like whatever the deal was, they would have offered him. I mean, no.
Well, the only thing because I kind of just looked at it from afar, but then I was thinking about this more, and then I was listening to, the pregame on MLB Network last night, and I think the thing is that you look at it 440, but over 15 years, that's an average annual of under $30 million, so $29 million,
right.
Plus the fact that it was heavily backloaded. So, you have to wait to get his money. And it's like, so in 8 years, him making, let's say it's $35 million he should be making $50 million. So I kind of get that. So, and I don't know about you, but I kind of think he's probably targeting like a 10-year deal with an opt-out. I guess it would be after 6, because then that would put him at free agency at 30. So with a 10-year deal, I think he probably would want at the minimum $400 million. So you think about that, 5 less years, only $40 million less.
Yeah, that you really think he wants 10-year 400?
I mean, what would you put him at?
I was thinking like he was looking for, maybe $33-35 million a year. So 10 years, 350.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just the fact that, he's so young. So it's like he feels like it's like, he's going to take a salary like this and he's going to be around for a while, and salaries obviously only go up. So I think that's
Right.
just the biggest thing. It'll just be interesting, just in terms of, where he ends up. A lot of chatter about the Cardinals, actually. I heard that on the broadcast as well.
I actually see that. I think it'd be a good fit for them, right?
I mean, talk about murderers row: Soto, Arenado, and Goldschmidt in that lineup.
Oh my gosh.
And I did hear San Diego. I like that fit as well, and I could see him wanting to chill in San
Tatis.
Diego.
Yeah.
So that's interesting, but I can't wait to see really where all the chips fall here. I thought yesterday, and I guess just a lot of focus is on the game tonight, and then obviously the Derby last night. But I didn't really hear anything after our show yesterday in terms of any type of additional trade rumors other than kind of what we had discussed.
Yeah, no, me neither. Except that I think I said before the show that the Nationals don't really want to trade within their own division, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, because obviously we know the Mets are coming in hot, so that would really point to St. Louis or San Diego. Because like I had mentioned to you, the Yankees usually aren't in the business of trading away, their whole farm system, which is basically what this would be. And even though I think, though, my plan is flawless just in terms of having those 3 guys. I mean, would that not be the best 2, 3, 4 almost in Yankee history potentially?
No, you're right. It is pretty flawless.
And then you throw in Anthony Rizzo in there, and then if Gleyber Torres is producing like he was in the first half, I mean, talk about a deep lineup. The return of that DJ LeMahieu. So unfortunately, I don't think that'll happen. And then I was talking to my friend, who worked for the Yankees, and he was saying that Dominguez probably still has 2 years. So not next year, but the following year, but he could see Volpe next year. But then Peraza is like a little ahead of him. So it's going to be a very interesting situation. I mean, I'm thinking for sure IKF will not be on the team next year. And really, I would like to give Peraza a chance now because, IKF, I mean, he's doing the bare minimum, I think. And I don't think, going back to our word of the day here, I don't think he's an astute fielder, IKF versus what they thought. It's just, of course, it's an upgrade over Gleyber Torres, but who wouldn't have been an upgrade over Gleyber Torres?
Yeah, no, you're right. So you want to just give Peraza a shot?
I mean, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I would. I mean, what do you have to lose?
Yeah,
honestly?
exactly. Because it's just,
especially now.
I guess it's all service time, but to me, part of it has to be nervousness. I feel like they're so nervous with prospects. Like, this guy needs that amount of time. That guy needs this amount of time. You know what I mean? It's like, just get him out
nervousness
there.
On the Yankees part.
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm sure some other organizations do it, but I'm just saying from what I can tell, following the situation closely, it just seems like there's no reason not to give these guys a shot. And it's like, what are your plans with Andujar and Florial? I mean, I think they both should be, starting for teams. But if I had to guess, I think if they are making a big acquisition before the deadline, they're probably both going to be part of it just because down the road, they're going to have some roster decisions to make. So they'd rather just kind of trade him now and then not have to worry about that, down the road.
I mean, do you think the Yankees, I know you said they're, historically are not in the business of trading away their farm system, but I mean, I feel like with their team now, like, why not?
No, that's what I said. That's honestly what I said. Yeah. I was talking to my friend. He just was saying, they really want to, they feel like they haven't given like a group like that they have now, all a full shot to kind of grow together and come up together. But I agree with you because it's like, I don't care about 5 years down the road. Like, let's take care of business now. Plus, I mean, I know I'm saying whole farm system, but I mean, there's still going to be
other guys,
some guys. I mean, obviously, if, Anthony Volpe turns into Trey Turner and then Jason Dominguez is Mike Trout. Okay. I mean, you might not feel that great. And then if Medina is a serviceable pitcher, But at the same time, what if none of them are what we expect,
Right.
And then we could have had Juan Soto, but we don't have anything,
Mhm.
So that's the kind of risk you run. But
Yeah.
and I just think that lineup would be so hard to navigate. And I feel like you're a good outside perspective here. Who do you think, out of all these guys, in order to really best improve their positioning here as we move into the second half, what do you think would be most beneficial for the Yankees to do? Like, what acquisitions do you feel like they need the most?
Like in terms of
Position, and then I guess if you have a player in mind or something.
right. I mean, I do think Juan Soto will be a great fit. I mean, if you throw him into like left field, or you just get rid of Gallo and move around your outfielders, that adds a huge aspect to your defense. And then because I feel like outfielder Gallo, I mean Jesus, and then at the plate as well. If he's in there for Gallo, think about it. And Soto's a lefty, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, you're Gallo also lefty.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, you're not losing anything in that aspect, because obviously, we know, the Yankees are a little worried about having too much of a right-handed dominant lineup. But I think Soto is really your best bet. I think you really have to go for him hard, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, that's your guy.
Yeah. No, I know. I just, unfortunately, he's now. Your mom's referring to the Yankees needing better hitters.
They need better hitters.
Interesting. I mean, because like the thing is, Tony, I just feel like it's like the only reason I am so set on Soto is just because of the star that he is.
Right.
But I think if you're not gonna, if you're gonna bring in Andrew Benintendi, or Brian Reynolds, but I'm just saying I would rather use my internal options over those guys.
No, yeah, exactly.
It only applies for a star.
If it's not Soto, it's who?
I mean, I'm guessing. I mean, definitely a reliever. I think they're interested in, and I think there's been some kind of light rumors about David Robertson, which he definitely had his moments both ways. Where he definitely has blown it, as well. But I think given the deep bullpen that they have at the moment, and assuming that Loaizaga and Chapman will be themselves, I mean, he could be your 5th or 6th inning reliever, and then I think it's a good move. I just don't want him pitching in the 8th inning.
Chapman.
No, Robertson.
Oh, Robertson.
Yeah. What do you think he's kind of cooked or not?
I don't know. What are his numbers at right now?
I think they're respectable because
Really?
he's closing for the Cubs.
Right.
I could just pull this up here. So Robertson. It's kind of crazy too. He's what is it now? 1985, so he's 37. Isn't that nuts?
That is
like I remember when he first came up, 2008. So right now, 37 innings, 1.93 ERA, 48 strikeouts.
That's pretty respectable, Brian.
So numbers are there.
Yeah.
But if you were them, you would want like a younger reliever, versus him, or just because he knows New York, he's been the closer there.
Yeah,
before.
no, I would pull the trigger on him.
Yeah,
for sure. I mean, talk about experience, and in terms of winning now, he's good right now.
Right.
Like you're getting for him.
And it's funny. I just happened to think of names of the past, so I had to search. I know who I'm going to say here, but my favorite guy, Dellin Betances. I guess he's in AAA for the Dodgers. And they had a bullpen game, so their team is in Oklahoma City. Retired 1 of 6 batters, walked 4, hit a batter, gave up 4 runs. Of his 26 pitches, the opposing team swung once. His average fastball averaged 91.9 miles an hour. So this was on Sunday. In 9 games this year at AAA, he has as many walks as strikeouts in 7 2/3 innings.
That's really bad, Brian.
I still would take him.
26
Matt
pitches.
Blake, Tony.
26 pitches, and the batter's only swung once.
You're telling me Matt Blake couldn't figure something out?
No way, dude.
But dude, what about that curveball though? You know what I mean? You don't need to throw 100 to have that.
You got the Michael King look on you right now, dude.
You really think there's just no way?
Yeah, there's no shot.
It's just so sad.
It is sad.
It was so exciting to watch. And it's like he's 34 years old, and it appears his career is over.
Yeah.
But
I'm sorry, Brian.
Best of luck to him, though, honestly, because I hope he figures it out, one way or another.
Hey, maybe he's hearing us right now and want to come on the show, talk about some stuff.
Yeah. So one other thing before I want to talk some golf for a sec, but your mom says she pays attention. So does that mean she watches Yankee games?
I pay attention. I think she just watches us, really. Is probably
I gotcha. But and then just lastly, I kind of mentioned it, but do you agree with me in terms of that they don't really need offense over anything, it's bullpen or potentially a starter? Or do you think, because they obviously lead the majors in all the offensive categories, or do you still think they could use, because Gallo's been starting. Obviously, we don't know if Matt Carpenter is going to be sustainable. What are your honest thoughts there?
It's tough. It's I think of that. I don't know if you heard that rant that Donald Greco went on maybe last week about a caller coming in saying Joey Gallo was hurting.
Right. And they just
the Yankees, and it's he kind of is.
But he's not playing now. He's barely playing.
I know now he's barely, but I would say keep with the starting pitcher. I think starting pitching is where you would need someone, because I think Carpenter would be sustainable, and I think pitching in the postseason goes a little bit more of a longer way than just a good hitter. So I would say go after a starter.
Yeah. And I just the thing that's tough with the starter is I don't know, other than Castillo,
who else?
Well, who else that I would be excited about?
Who else is on? Who else would be up for a trade?
Zach Greinke, not happening.
Yeah, obviously no. Steven Matz, Zach Wheeler.
Yeah, maybe Zach Wheeler I actually would like, but I don't like we were talking about yesterday. I don't think the Phillies are going to give up.
I don't think they would either, but what are the Phillies doing?
Yeah. So that's a tough thing. And then let's say, so if you had to guess for Castillo, we're talking Yankees here, out of their top 5 prospects, how many do you think they would have to give?
3.
And do you feel like that's worth it?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
And
then kind of lastly here, and across town, let's assume you were reporting that the Nationals don't want to trade Soto within the division. What's your number 1 target for the Mets?
Honestly, at that point, it'd probably be Castillo.
Really? So you prioritize that over offense?
Yeah, at that point.
Interesting.
Because our offense, I think, has shown what they could do. We have good hitters on the team, and it's a lot of those. A lot of times we've lost. It's just when we had just bad outings from pitchers.
Yeah. And is there anybody that you kind of look at, offensively on the team that maybe didn't have the best first half that you expect to kind of pick it up down the stretch?
Yeah. I guess JD Davis. He kind of been a little bit of a clunker. And Escobar too.
Yeah. I always liked Escobar, but
yeah,
I don't know.
He was he had some good moments, but consistently, he's got to do better, because he's our starting third baseman. He's got to do better.
Well, I just feel like, he should be a walking 265, 25 to 30 home runs, right?
Yeah.
I don't think he's exactly on pace for that.
No, not at all.
And then the one interesting thing here too, so Castillo has 1 more year of control, after this season. So plays to the advantage of the team acquiring him, but obviously that makes him more valuable and them having to give up more. So
right.
I cannot wait for the trade deadline special coming up, Tony.
Oh my God, me too.
But you know what else I can't wait for? The 3M Open. So if you would take me to the course, if you wouldn't mind, Tony, and we will be there
tomorrow, dude.
E. Gaynor Brennan Golf Course, Stamford, Connecticut.
Oh yeah.
Everybody is fired up. But I did mention the 3M, so that is TPC Twin Cities. And this is a 156-man field here. So a lot of guys, I think there's only 2 out of the top 25 world golf ranking players in this tournament, but it's a lot of guys that are a little lower trying to work their selves up. And just to kind of give you an idea of some notable names here. So I mentioned this yesterday, but we got Hideki Matsuyama, the former Masters champion, former PGA champion Jason Day, and last year's 3M Open champion Cameron Champ in the field, joined by Tony Finau, JT Poston, Sahith Theegala, a guy who's contended at the majors this year, narrowly missed winning at the Travelers. He's been right there. And then also Cameron Tringale, 34 years old, kind of been all over leaderboards this season, looking for that first win. Ches Reavie, former Travelers champion, and just won last week at the Barracuda, the alternate stable forward scoring tournament. So he was able to win that one. So that's kind of really, Sungjae Im, and then Davis Riley, he's contention for Rookie of the Year. So that's another guy, and then Adam Hadwin from Canada. So this is a course, we've seen some big names win it in the past, as well as kind of some guys that were kind of still making a name for themselves. A lot of water on the course, so that makes it easy, interesting as well. So standing at 74-31 in terms of yardage. And I would imagine, there'd be good weather for this tournament. I mean, right now, here in Connecticut, we're dealing with a heat wave. You only imagine what the people in Arizona and Texas are dealing with. So at least in Minnesota, you're looking at 80s, not 90s.
That's nice.
Imagine, some breeze coming in from the lakes and whatnot. So with all of that being said, Tony, I know it's kind of a tough field to navigate through. But if you had to give me a name to hoist this trophy, who would it be?
Who did you say was favorited?
So I mean, the favorite is actually Adam Svensson.
Now that guy, I think I was. No, I don't think it was him. Never mind. Adam Svensson.
But we have Matsuyama.
Swedish?
Yeah, he is Swedish. Jason Day, Tony Finau, JT Poston, Sahith Theegala, Sungjae Im, Ches Reavie, Cameron Tringale.
Give me Sungjae Im.
Really?
Yeah. Let's do it, dude.
And he's a guy last couple of years really was kind of right on the cusp, and I haven't heard his name much lately. But is talented. And he's only 24 years old, so a lot of room to grow. I like that. And that being said, though, I mean, I think he'll put up a representative performance here. But I gotta go with my guy Sahith Theegala.
Whoa.
Really kind of bursting onto the scene this year. And he's made his last 8 cuts.
His ass. He made his ass.
And 5 of those he finished in the top 25, or 6 of those, including 2 top 5s. So it's like, it reminds me of Tony Finau, just like really wants that win, keeps coming up so close, but just not enough. So I want to say him and Finau will be there at the end, but give me Theegala picking up his first career win. And you love to see that.
Oh yeah.
For sure. And then I don't know if I might be stretching this, Tony, because I know, you're new to the golf world in terms of on the professional ranks. But have you heard of David Faraday?
I don't think so.
So longtime analyst on CBS Golf, with Nance and everyone. And probably about, maybe 10 years ago or so, he moved over to NBC, and he used to have a interview show where he would interview mostly golfers, even though, he did bring on Charles Barkley or whatnot. But one of those guys, the big accent, loves joking around, and actually, talks a lot about how he used to be reckless back in the day, getting too hammered and stuff. And now he's really kind of turned his life around and been, a notable golf analyst for a while. The reason I bring up his name is he just signed on actually with Live Golf.
No shit.
So leaving NBC, going to Live Golf to be their analyst.
That's crazy.
So I just thought that was interesting. And a lot more to talk about Cam Smith going. I guess he's got $90 million at least offered to him. And then I was listening to PGA Tour Radio on the way in, Sirius 92. And a caller brought up the point, and I've kind of alluded to this, that even though it's not traditional, it's not in their model, it's not what they want to do, but he thinks the PGA Tour would be best served working with Live Golf and just saying golfers can play both rather than having this hard stance about an indefinite suspension and the uncertainty, because they're better off having the better players in their tournaments than not. Do you agree with this, or do you think that they're going to get into too much of a stranglehold with Live if they go down that direction?
That's a tough call, honestly, because I feel like, I mean, this Live Tour is maybe gaining some more traction here, and if they get a TV deal, I think a lot more players are going to be enticed to go over to that tour. And if the PGA starts losing more and more players, I mean, they could be in trouble, dude. So it would be better off to start a partnership now rather than later down the road. Because then Live Tour can say, "Ah, you know what? No, fuck you. We're good on our own."
Yeah.
You know? So I guess I can see what he's saying. Also, I don't know if you did hear, but Live Tour approached Charles Barkley. Speaking of him,
Wait, what about Barkley?
they approached Charles Barkley to do some on-air stuff for Live.
Oh, and he said no way.
No, he's going to meet with them, he said.
Really?
Yeah, he said that, he said that they approached him to meet, and, they didn't say, much else other than that in terms of details of what they would want or what's going to go down. But he agreed to meet with them, and he's like, hey, I'm an opportunistic person. I'm going to go with whatever I feel is right, and it'd be stupid of me not to meet with them. So I would imagine they're going to offer him something to do some on air for them. And it would be pretty interesting if he signs on.
And I don't know if, maybe I just get too tight sometimes, but I'm just Barkley'd out. I don't know. I don't think he adds anything. I don't think he's funny. I just feel like it's like the same thing all the time. Like, he's not paying attention. He's talking about guys that aren't even on the right team. You know what I mean? But that makes him hilarious. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
His hacker swing is hilarious. I mean, how many times do we need to see the same thing over and over again? And I don't know. I just feel like, if I want comedy, I'll go to the, Comedy Central or a comedy show.
I don't like any comedian.
If I want an analysis, I should be able to go to a TV channel that's covering the event and not having guys on there just to make jokes.
Yeah, I think you're right on that one. Especially, I haven't really seen him cover golf ever.
Yeah, I mean, he's done, the match tournaments and stuff, and he just, because of his crazy swing, he's known and supposedly, it's better than it looks or whatever. He used to be real good back in the day. All of this stuff, and it's just like, I don't know. It's just like, I don't know, and I do think too, because that show, I guess, what is it? The Inside the NBA gets so much praise, and I just feel like it's like, I think Ernie holds it down well. I think Shaq.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm just not there with it. Kenny Smith, talk about another guy that's just out to lunch. Don't you think they need kind of
I mean, those guys are pretty faded, dude.
Yeah,
they're burnt out.
Yeah, exactly. But you know what I mean? It's lauded as, it's the best pre and post, show, this and that. It's just like, enough. We've heard the whole thing, But also, just kind of off of that, kind of to wrap up, this conversation in terms of the golf. So, I know obviously, guys are getting $100 million to sign, but at the same time, I mean, you could still, carve out a pretty good living on the PGA Tour. So as of right now, the average tour golfer has made $1.4 million this year. And there's still an $18 million prize for winning the FedEx Cup, which is obviously, like I had told you yesterday, winning that tour championship at the end of the year. So you combine that. I mean, we're talking about just an average guy, maybe the guy that's not even at the top of the leaderboard right now, could make almost $20 million. And I know it's not $100 million, but they also have sponsors, which are dropping the guys, most of the guys anyway, that are going to Live. So you got to keep that in mind. Sponsorships, endorsements, and then the fact too, Scotty Scheffler, world number one, he's played in 22 events this year and he's made $13 million. So you couple that with, if you were to win the FedEx, that's $31 million.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? That's not enough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You have to, not risk your leg. I don't know. It's just, at what point is it, you know what I mean? Is it not enough?
Yeah,
do you need the extra? What are you going to do with the extra? And I don't know. That's just kind of my thoughts. I mean, even Cameron Smith, second place, 9.8 million. Rory, third, 8.2 million. Sam Burns, fourth, 6.2 million. I mean, literally the top 8 guys have made over $6 million. So all this crying about money. I don't know, Tony. Call me crazy, but that's just kind of my thoughts here.
I think it's just the fact that obviously the guy who wins makes just way more money, and obviously when you go now that Live Tour's around, it's guaranteed money. So I don't know. I feel like it's putting even more pressure on the PGA Tour to do something.
And I mean, just also for this FedEx Cup, the top 10 golfers make at minimum $1 million, and the top 5 golfers make at least $3 million. So there's not winning the tournament, still making a lot. Plus, I feel like endorsements are so big.
Has anyone gotten KPMG?
Whose sponsor was that?
That was Phil Mickelson's.
I haven't heard anything, but I would imagine somebody's picked that up.
Right. Bless you.
Thank you.
Allergies today, Brian, huh?
Yeah.
They got you on the course, with the grass and stuff, all the trees.
Oh, man. But I don't know, Tony.
My mother says they're greedy.
They are greedy, but I get it.
Everyone.
I get it. But I don't know. I guess, just like I've said to you before, I've just always been in the spirit of competition. And I would just never want to be in a place as a professional golfer where it's just like, I don't care if I finish last in this tournament. I'm going to still make $250,000. You know what I mean? It's just like, it doesn't seem like you're earning it. And it's like, you don't strive for anything. And I feel like that's where these guys find themselves. And it's like, is Phil, I think Phil is more likely to pack on an additional 30 pounds than he is to ever win a golf tournament again now. Honestly.
Wow. 30 pounds.
I'm just saying, like, what is he working towards?
I don't know. That's a good question. Is he doing well on the Live Tour?
No.
I
don't know. Cause like I know I've asked you this already before, but you wouldn't care about your legacy, just because you had 100 million in front of you.
If I'm, I said yes. I'll take the money. Yeah, give me the money. And also, like the Live Tour, you never know right now, dude. Right now may be bad, but in a few months, Charles Barkley is up there. People are starting to like it.
Yeah, next thing you know, he's going to be playing in the tournaments, and then they'll really be in trouble.
Yeah.
No, I just think the fact that they could say endless pit of money, this and that, but as we all know, in this climate, this world, there's no such thing as an endless pit of money. People at a certain point have a breaking point. And when they've lost $1 billion and just so they could stick out their chest at the PGA Tour, at the end of the day, what does that do for these people? I know Greg Norman is all about it, but other than him, who's benefiting from this?
I don't know.
I think I could just tell by your tone. You're tired of it.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. I'm a little. Also, I haven't fucking been able to watch any of it, dude.
Well, that's the problem.
Yeah, what are we doing?
That's the problem.
For all I know, this is not even real.
It kind of seems like it, honestly. I think there's still 2 weeks left, and then there's a tournament in Bedminster, New Jersey. So
for Live Tour,
yep.
In New Jersey, Bedminster. Where the hell is that?
I don't know, but I don't think it's that far. Honestly, I'm sorry. You have I've always had the closer proximity. I would think you would know, Tony.
Yeah, I would imagine it's super north.
Geez, I wanted to say I thought it was like 2 hours from Stanford,
Bedminster, New Jersey. It's 2 hours from here.
Oh, 2 hours from here.
Let's see. Bedminster is by Far Hills, Bernardsville, Morristown. Oh, Morristown's in New Brunswick. Oh my gosh, dude, it's right near Newark.
Oh, okay.
It's in Central Jersey.
Makes a little more sense now.
Yeah, a little more, I guess, north Central Jersey. It's like literally, bro, probably 40 minutes from Staten Island.
And then last question here, Tony, to kind of wrap up our discussion here.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously we talked about golf tomorrow, and before the show I was asking you about a score, but if you had to pick one thing over anything tomorrow on the course that you'd like to accomplish, what would it be?
Honestly, I would say just a really nice drive.
How do we have a yardage?
265, 270.
265, and just no question off the
Just
bat.
no question off the bat.
Sound of the driver.
The sound, the dart, nice and straight. Hit it right down on the fairway or wherever. Just, that's what I want.
Over a birdie.
Let's just fucking make it a hole in one, Brian.
I mean, it's a fair question, is it not?
No, yeah, it's a fair question. A birdie would be pretty dope.
Yeah.
But a nice drive would mean better for like a birdie would, that's cool, I guess, but that could be a fluke. A nice drive being like, wow, I fucking did it right. Let me just try and do that again.
And then again.
And then again. Exactly.
And then again. So,
And then I'll be on the live tour.
Don't do it to me, buddy. But yeah, can't wait for that, Tony. But other than that, as we come to a close here, anything else you have for me on the way out?
Yeah, we do. We got screen time coming up 11:30. We're doing the best Robert De Niro movies, so stick around. It'll probably be more towards noon, I would say, but stick around here. Manny will be here shortly, and then we'll get on the Robert De Niro action.
Wow, there we go.
You like Robert De Niro? You like Robert De Niro?
Love Robert De Niro.
Favorite Robert De Niro movie?
It has to be Meet the Fockers.
Really?
Yeah, he was so good in that.
Not Meet the Parents, but Meet the Fockers.
To me, they were all just as good. I know
Okay.
that you could break it down, and I'm sure you will. But I know one movie that's not going to be making the list for you is going to be The Irishman.
Yeah, no, not for me. By the way, go back to Jersey golf, by the way, and it occurred to me that near Newark Airport is the Trump Links golf course, and I'm pretty sure that's where the live tour is going to be.
Yeah, it is.
It is going to be at Trump.
Yeah. Wow. So
that's crazy.
We might have to cover it.
That'd be dope if we can go.
Yeah,
it's not too far from my house.
Oh, and I they're basically giving away tickets. I mean,
really?
It might cost something, but I mean, I don't think it's anything of consequence.
2 weeks, you said?
2 weeks. Yeah.
We can swing that. I feel
that would be something, Tony, for sure.
That'd be dope.
But yeah, definitely check that out. And then also, I believe last night it was Epic Movies. If
yes, last night we did best epic movies on Screen Time, which basically, because there's some confusion over people have not heard the word epic used in this way, but it just means super long videos, 2.5 hours or over. As Manny is coming into the studio, getting ready for Screen Time. What's up, dude?
There he is.
The
legend himself.
Yeah, dude. Manny, what do you think about the Live Tour golf? Live Golf Tour. He thinks it's awesome, man. He thinks it's awesome. You can go to the tournament in 2 weeks? People need to get paid.
Wow.
Yeah, dude.
How far can you hit a golf ball? If you had to just put a number on it.
What's a good distance?
300? Like, it's a crazy distance, but 250s. Yeah.
Like point left.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, dude. You and I both.
Play it how it lies.
Yeah,
Tony. Play it
dude.
how it lies.
Jeez.
But so in addition to, the epic movies from last night, definitely just check out all of our archives on our YouTube page. Plenty of things, from Tony in costume, to one-on-one basketball, to a golf tournament last year, to mopeds in the city, to a minor league baseball game, to a trip to Yankee Stadium. I mean, I could go on and on and on, as well as the summer collection at downtimetv.com. But I want everybody to enjoy this wonderful day. Enjoy Screen Time coming up in a little bit, and we will see you mañana.
Hey guys, Tony here from Downtime TV checking in. I want to thank all our fans out there who's been liking, subscribing, sharing our content. You guys are the best. You guys are our bloodline. You make us love what we do. Thanks again.